a big jump from 4th to 5th grade. So I'm looking at this thinking this looks like a lot, but on the other hand, I look at him and I think he can do this. Hi, welcome. My name is Rachel. I'm a homeschool mom of 4 boys ages 10 to 19. I actually just graduated my second back in May, so I will have a 5th grader and a 10th grader this coming school year. Today we're going to talk about the scheduling for my 5th grader, and I'm really just going to take you along with me, and we're going to look at it together. Some of it I have already done, but I will be showing you. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you all that. We are hoping to start our first week of school next week. Let me know if you've started. Have you started school? I know some people start way early, and some people may not start until September. So sometimes I'm wondering, am I starting early or am I starting late? I don't know. Also, if you like this type of content, please hit that likes button and subscribe. That would encourage me and my channel so much. Let's turn the camera around and talk about some scheduling. Okay, I do know that we're going to start out with math and grammar and spelling the first week. I'm not sure if we'll jump into anything else. I'm almost thinking the writing, the copy work that I will show you that is scheduled out. So I'm going to put handwriting. So his Bible is actually with Heart of Dakota, and I like to keep all that on schedule, but he has some other verses and things that he does for Sunday school, so he'll still be doing Bible every day. So I know the first week we'll do that, and then once he does math on Monday, he would check it off. He would check these off, and then he could check off Tuesday. Now, in the next week, we would just put this page just like this, and then I can add the other subjects like history and science. We are going to start out slowly the first week and then add on. Okay, here's some of those scheduling pages I showed you in my planning video, and I went ahead and actually, I'm not going to do it for every subject. I know there's a lot of talk about the forward scheduling and the backward scheduling. I would consider this forward, like I have scheduled out his geography. We are going to use 2 books this school year, and I will just show you the sets. They're both from Memoria Press, and I have just divided them up. I was thinking 2 or 3 days a week, but after the first book, which I think had less in it, I'm pretty sure I figured it at least has to be done 3 days a week, but really getting done week 32, and I want to say Heart of Dakota goes through week 35. This will give us some flex time. If we miss a week for some reason, or he gets behind, and really with this, let me explain. I know you're thinking it's so scheduled, he has to have that done, but not really. I mean, he checks it off. If he's on week 6 and only has this checked off to Afghanistan, he would still just do the next thing the next day. That's why I just wanted it to be scheduled out so he has, and really for me, so I could see how far ahead or behind we are when I check on him, to see how it is going if we miss a week or something. So, but I really debated on doing this for his grammar, but I think I want to start it first and see how it flows. If it flows pretty smoothly and we could do a week in a week, I might do this also for that. But for math, I don't even know if I'll write it out. That is more of a backward. I will just use this little lesson here, and really instead of a check mark, he could put just L1, that I know that he's done lesson 1, or L2. And same for grammar, really. He could put lesson 1 lesson 2, and maybe next week we don't get until lesson 3 till the next week. And with spelling, if you watched my spelling video, we were using the IEW spelling, the phonetic spelling zoo. You really can't schedule that out because it's how they do with it and how fast they go. And then handwriting, I'm trying to think if I decided to schedule that out. Let me look. Okay, this is his handwriting, and I don't even know if I've actually shared this with you because it's fairly new. I did show it on Instagram, but it is exploring handwriting through scripture, and I'm trying to push this back so I could show you. And I don't think I'm going to schedule it out. Sometimes what I end up doing is once we get the flow of it, then I will put it in the schedule book. Because I'm thinking, well, I'd like to get done by this time, and I usually try to schedule it where there's several weeks available in case we can be flexible with it, just to make sure he is doing it every week. That way I can look back. But it really starts out as a review, and then you pretty much start with copying scripture, and you just go over it, and then there's Genesis, there's the 10 Commandments, Psalms, Joshua. I'm sort of skipping through, so I'm not getting it all. There's John, and as they get towards the end of the book, they're just copying it. There's nothing to actually write over, so it gets a little bit harder. 1 Corinthians, and so I'm excited about this. I think it'll be good for the cursive, which I wanted him to work a little bit more on, but also scripture memory and also spelling. It all comes together, right? So I'll let you know how this goes, but I don't think I'm going to schedule that right now. I'm just going, that's the hardest thing. The first few weeks, even month or two, I'll just see how it works. If I decide to put it in the schedule book, I will let you know how that works. So, all right, so that is his handwriting, and I'm pretty sure we're going to start with these things the first week, and then I'm almost thinking geography too. I'm just going to go ahead and write that in. If anything changes, I'll let you know. So, because I think almost everything else is in his Heart of Dakota book, and that is where he has some independent stuff. I really want to make sure that he has this down before he starts on the other stuff. So, all right. Okay, I want to say here's a bulk of our curriculum, but really he has quite a bit of other things that he is doing, and this is Heart of Dakota, Creation to Christ, and we're going to be working on this, and I was just going to show you how I put it in the schedule, and I will do a more detailed video on the curriculum itself in a different video, but he has things that he will do every day, and what I went ahead and did, just so I don't have to make another page, is what I'm going to do the first week and maybe even the second. I just overdid it in pen, and then what he will do later. So the second week I would just flip this open, and this would be week 2, and then everything would already be there. So we're not going to worry about what's in pencil the very first week though, which is math, grammar, spelling, handwriting, and geography. And I just put a little box because handwriting he's only going to do 3 times a week. Geography I put from my schedule here, just sort of filled it in 3 days a week, and what exactly it is to help him remember and help me remember. And then all the rest is in this book, and we'll tell you exactly what to do. Let's look at the first lesson mainly. And there's a lot of writing in this book because this is the third time I'm using this, so you'll see a lot of notes that I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with yet, so I haven't looked at all that. But Bible quiet time is every day. Poetry and art is over here, and that is every day. You have your history, which was reading about history, which is right here. History project, independent study, story time, his science. So each of these boxes will tell him what to do that day. And then a Bible study, which I have an older version of the Creation for Christ, and the new book is this, so I'm just making my own schedule into writing little notes in there. So putting an X through that and adding the lesson. And I will explain all that probably in another video in the future after we have used this for a little while, so I can share more of how it's going and our details of how we're using it. So, but in this curriculum, I have these little letters next to it because this will be independent. This will be student-led. Teacher, like story time, that's for me to read with him. Teacher Bible study, which would be this. But the Bible quiet time is independent. So it sort of gives you these little boxes in this curriculum, like this will be an independent thing. But we will probably work on quite a bit of it together at first to get him familiar with it. And like I said, I will make another video in detail on how that is going in the future, because this independent part will all be a little bit new to him in this book. So this is what we have so far. Okay, this is just something I wrote out. Most homeschool moms will try to schedule for the first couple weeks, and it will probably change at least once, if not 2 or 3 times. I'm looking at this and I really want to think and tell you that sometimes your schedule depends so much on where you live and the weather, and I really like to give my boys a lot of outside time. I think it helps. And we even have done some school on our deck when it's really nice. So, but this is, I'm thinking, of all that needs to be done throughout a day. And some of this, like the Bible study, is only twice a week. Handwriting would only be 3 times a week. So, but this is a general idea. Rise and shine. We just gotten chickens. So I don't know where they'll quite be at when we start school, but that will probably change because they won't. But need to get up and check on them. Bible. He can read the Bible quiet time from his Heart of Dakota guide and have breakfast, and if he has extra free time or if I need something, he is available. And then we could get into his math, spelling, and his history read will be independent too. But like I said, we're going to work on the independent, so I'll be with him, for a little while, making sure that he can handle all of this. It's a big jump from 4th to 5th grade. So I'm looking at this thinking this looks like a lot, but on the other hand, I look at him and I think he can do this. So we'll see. And spelling. And then from 10 to 11:30 would be history and science. And that was all on this schedule. Of course, we're not doing this all the first week. We'll just start out with these few things. But once school really starts the second week, some of it's independent, some of it's teacher-led, and like the science is independent, but we'll do that together for, however long it takes for him to be confident in doing that himself. And I'm trying to think, every day of science says independent. So, and then lunch, well, we'll do grammar. That is something I will always be doing with him. That is more of a hands-on program, and I do have a video on that. I'll link that below. Then lunch, and like I said, Bible study is twice a week. Geography is a few times a week, and he is my child who likes to read when he eats. I don't think he'll have a problem with that. Or I could do story time, which is the history read from Heart of Dakota. I can do that, and then he can do geography. I'm not really worried about the order of anything, just trying to block the schedules of like, okay, it would help if this got done in between this time. And then the last few things, handwriting and poetry. And I probably put those on the end because they're not my priority. I really would like him to do the handwriting, and I don't think that'll be a problem, especially if he's already sitting at the table. Just get that done, and then we can come to poetry, which also has the artwork, which I really would like to get it done, but it's tagged on there at the end. So, but I'm also thinking, okay, in the fall when it's really nice, they might want to be outside, but I think they can do that in the afternoon. But right now in the summer, they might want to be outside. So all of this might get moved and let them have like 30 minutes to an hour in the morning outside. but right now it's still pretty hot all day. So we will see, but these are the things that I need to get done, and my time estimate, that may change altogether. I have a general idea. You know, I'm thinking I'm close at guessing how long things will take, but I'm not for sure. So that gives you a look of how I'm hoping our day will, I'm hoping that we can get our schoolwork done in a day. Okay, I appreciate you watching that. I do have a video on what I will be using for my 5th grader, and I will link that below. I think there is probably a couple changes. I mentioned something for writing, and right now I'm going to set that aside and we're not going to use that. And I can't remember if I mentioned the spelling in that video. So we are using the IEW spelling. If you have any questions or anything else that you would like to see a little bit more in detail, please share below. I would love to hear from you all, and I really do appreciate you all watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. Thank you so much.